Hello everyone, I am Payal. Today we will look why happy feed makes us unhappy. A happy feed on social media shows only the best moment of people's lives, smiles, photos, achievements, holidays, perfect bodies and success stories. These posts are carefully chosen and edited so they do not show real problem, failure or daily struggle. When we scroll through such content our mind start comparing our normal life with other highlight reels. This create a gap between what we see online and what we feel in real life, which can lead to sadness, stress, low self-esteem, and dissatisfactions. Now, the anatomy of a happy feed. A happy feed on social media is a curated, not created, which means it is a carefully selected rather than slowing real life as it is. People usually post only their best moments such as vacations, celebrations, achievements, and happy memories. Social media platform also use algorithm that give more importance to give positive and attractive content because it gets more like and share. As a result, social media becomes a digital collection of peak experiences where only good news seems worth sharing while struggles, failure, and ordinary days are hidden. Like a student may post photos of a graduation ceremony or a party with friends, but they do not post about stress, exams, self doubt, or hard work behind that success. When someone else sees this feed, they may think that the student's life is always happy and perfect. This creates an unrealistic pictures of life and can make viewers feel that their own normal life is boring or unsuccessful, even though everyone faces difficulties in reality. Now we will see the illusion of perfection on social media. Social media often creates an illusion of a perfection by showing only the best 1% of people's lives. These highlights reel include filtered photos, staged smile, and carefully written caption that make life look flawless and successful. Viewers see only moments that appear perfect, happy, and confident, which gives the impression that others are always doing well and never struggle. However, the remaining 99% of real life usually stay unseen. This includes daily routines, emotional struggles, failures, self doubt, and quiet moment of boredom or stress. When people compare their full imperfect lives with someone else edited highlight, they may feel inadequate or unhappy. Like a person may post a smiling photo after getting a new job, but they do not share the month of rejection, anxiety, and hard work behind it. Someone who sees these posts may think success is easy for other while they are struggling alone. This is how social media creates a false picture of perfection that does not reflect real life. Then we have next the comparison engine. Social media works like a comparison engine that constantly pushes us to measure ourselves against others. One major reason is upward comparison, where we compare our life with people who seem more successful, happier, or better than us. This often lead to feeling of inadequacy, jealousy, and envy. At the same time, social media encourages self-evaluation using numbers such as likes, followers, and comments. Instead of judging ourselves by personal growth or efforts, we start using these external metrics to decide our worth. Another factor is cognitive bias, where we assume that other people's lives are as perfect as they look on screen, forgetting that everyone has a struggle hidden behind the photos. For example, a person may post a picture showing thousands of likes and positive comments. A viewer who gets fewer like may feel unsuccessful or unimportant. Even if they are doing well in real life, the viewer forget that the photos does not show stress, failure or hard work. In this way, social media comparison distort reality and make people feel unhappy even without any real reasons. Now we will look at the validation cycle. Social media operates on a validation cycle driven by instant gratification. Every like, comment, or share trigger a release of dopamine in the brain, which is a chemical linked to pleasure and reward. This dopamine hit makes us feel happy, noticed, and valued for a short time. As a result, the brain start craving more of this feeling. We post content, check notification repeatedly, receive validation, and then repeat the same behavior over time. People can become emotionally dependent on these external feedback to feel confident or happy. So, when someone posts a photo and receives many likes within a few minutes, they feel excited and proud. Later, if a post gets fewer likes, they may feel disappointed or anxious. Even if nothing is wrong in real life, this shows how social media can slowly train people to connect their self worth with online reactions instead of real personal satisfactions. Now let's see what happens with the expectation gap. The expectation gap explains why seeing too much happy content on social media can make us feel less satisfied with our own lives. As our exposure to other highlight moment increases, our expectation about life also rise. We start believing that happiness should be constant, success should be fast, and life should look exciting all the time. However, real life is different. It includes routine, efforts, stress, and slow progress. This gap between what we expect and what we actually experience creates feeling of inadequacy and disappointed. This is called the happy content paradox. The more happiness we see online, the less happy we may feel in reality. If someone regularly sees posts about luxury vacations, perfect relationship, and career success, they may begin to feel that their own normal life is boring or unsuccessful. Even small problems may feel bigger because their expectations have become unrealistic. As a result, satisfaction with real life slowly decreases, not because life is bad, but because expectations have become too high. Now, the data on digital wellness shows a strong link between social media usage and mental well being. Research suggests that people who spend less time on social media generally report higher life satisfaction and lower anxiety levels. In contrast, heavy users, those using social media for more than 3 hours a day, tend to have lower life satisfaction and much higher anxiety. This happens because constant exposure to comparison, notification, and unrealistic content puts pressure on the mind and reduces emotional balance over time. For example, a person who checks social media only once or twice a day may feel relaxed, focused, and content with their routine. On the other hand, someone who scrolls for hours may start feeling anxious, distracted, or unhappy, especially after seeing other achievements or lifestyles. These data clearly show that more screen time does not mean more happiness. Instead, balanced uses support better mental health. Now, erosion of self esteem due to social media. Constant exposure to social media can slowly erode a person's self esteem. When people repeatedly see filtered and edited images, they may start feeling dissatisfied with their own body and appearance. Career envy also develops when other promotions or achievements are seen as sign of personal failure. Even though everyone's journey is different, in addition, social media creates lifestyle pressure by making people feel that their home, habits, hobbies, or daily life are not aesthetic or impressive enough. Over time, this comparison reduces self confidence and make people feel that they are not good enough. Like a person scrolling through social media may see influencer with perfect bodies, luxuries, home, and successful career. Even if that person is healthy and working hard, they may start feeling unhappy with their looks, job, or lifestyle. This constant comparison slowly damages their self-worth, not because they are failing in real life, but because social media sets unrealistic standards. This is the FOMO cycle. FOMO, or fear of missing out, is a psychological pattern triggered by constant digital connectivity. Especially through social media, it creates a loop of emotional responses that can affect our mental well being and social behavior. The cycle typically includes three stages. The first is notification anxiety. When your phone constantly buzzes with messages like or updates, it puts your brain in a state of high alert. You feel pressured to check immediately, fearing you might miss something important or exciting. This urgency can lead to stress and distraction even during work or rest. Second is performance pressure. Once you are part of an event or moment, they are pressure to capture it perfectly through selfies, videos, or posts. Instead of enjoying the experience, you focus on how it looks online. This can reduce genuine joy and increase comparison with others. And third is social exclusion. When you see photos or story or events you were not invited to, it can trigger feeling of rejection or loneliness. This taps into deep emotional fear, like being left out or not belonging, which can lower self esteem and increase anxiety. For example, imagine Ria sees her friend posting pictures from a weekend trip she wasn't invited to. She feels a pang of social exclusion, wondering why she was left out. Her phone keeps buzzing with likes and comments on their posts, causing notification anxiety. Later, when she goes out with her own group, she spends more time taking selfies than enjoying the moment, falling into performance pressure. The mood composition, what it tells us. This pie chart breaks down the emotional states many people experience during stressful or disconnected phases. It shows how different mood contribute to our overall mental state. Anxiety 40%, this is the largest portion. Anxiety often comes from uncertainty, overthinking, or constant digital stimulation. It can feel like restlessness, racing thoughts, or a tight chest. Second is loneliness 25%. Even when surrounded by people online, many feel emotionally isolated. Loneliness isn't just about being alone, it's about feeling unseen or disconnected. Third is dissatisfaction is 20%. This reflect a gap between expectation and reality, whether it's career, relationship, or self-image. Dissatisfaction can lead to frustration or low motivation. And last is fatigue is 15%. Emotional exhaustion built up from constant stress, lack of rest, or overstimulation. It's not just physical tiredness, it's mental burnout. So, example, imagine Ria is scrolling through social media after a long day. She sees other achieving goals and going out, which trigger dissatisfaction and loneliness. Her phone keeps buzzing with update, increasing her anxiety. She feels drained but can't stop scrolling. Classic fatigue. This mix of mood can silently shape how we feel, act, and respond to others. Now we will look vulnerable demographics in the digital age. Certain groups are more emotionally and psychologically affected by digital environments and social media. This slide highlights three such demographics each facing unique challenges. So first is Gen Z. These are digital natives, peoples born into a world of likes, share, and followers. Their self-worth often depends on online validation because they have never known life without social metrics. Their identity is deeply tied to their digital presence. Second is teenagers. During adolescence, the brain priorities social approval over logical thinking. Teenagers are especially sensitive to peer feedback, likes, and online attentions. This makes them vulnerable to mood swings, anxiety, and impulsive decisions based on social media reactions. And third is early professionals. Young adults entering the workplace often face LinkedIn envy, comparing their career progress to other online. Seeing peer get promotion, award, or recognition can trigger imposter syndrome and burnout. even if they are doing well themselves. Like the person is a 24-year-old early professional. She sees a LinkedIn post where her batchmate just become a brand manager, even though this people is building her own creative career. She feel behind. This comparison lead to self-doubt and stress, classic sign of LinkedIn envy. Meanwhile, her younger cousins, a teenager, keeps checking Instagram for like on her dance reels. She feels anxious when engagement drops, showing how social approval drives emotional response. And her Gen Z niece, who only 12, already talk about followers and aesthetic feed. Her identity forming around digital presence. Happy versus healthy social media consumption. This comparison highlights two very different ways people engage with social media and how each affect our emotional and mindset. So the primary goal, seek validation and curated perfection. The healthy feed focus on genuine connection and inspiration. Second is content type. Perfect highlights only show, and healthy feet share real up and down. Emotional effect, triggered comparison and envy, and healthy feed builds perspective and empathy. Engagement, encourage passive scrolling, and healthy feed promotes active interaction. Imagine the Ria opens Instagram and sees a friend vacation post with perfect lighting, outfit, and caption. She feels a bit envious and wonder if her own life looks dull. This is happy feed impact curated perfection leading to comparison. Let us see watches a real where someone share their struggle with anxiety and how they cope. The happy feeds looks glamorous but can quietly drain your confidence. The healthy feed may not be picture perfect, but it nourishes your emotional well-being. Algorithm don't just respond to what you like, they respond to what you feel. Even negative emotions like envy or insecurity can fuel your feed. Being aware of these helps you take control of your digital experience. Now we will look digital wellness strategies. There are three strategies. First is mindful scrolling. Mindful scrolling means being emotionally aware before engaging with digital content. Often when we feel bored, anxious or low, we instinctively reach for our phones and start scrolling through social media. However, this habit can worsen our mood, especially if we encounter negative or triggering content. The strategy encourage you to pause and check your emotional state before opening an app. If you are feeling vulnerable or down, it's better to avoid scrolling and choose a healthier activity. Second is curate your circle. Your digital environment influences your thought and emotion. Curating your circle means actively choosing which accounts you follow and interact with. If certain profiles make you feel inadequate or trigger unhealthy comparisons, it's okay to mute or unfollow them. Instead, follow creators, educators, or communities that uplift you, share useful knowledge, or align with your values. And third is time boxing. The time boxing is a technique where you set a strict time limit for app uses. It helps prevent endless scrolling and improves focus. Using grayscale mode, turning your screen black and white, reduce the visual appeal of apps, making them less addictive. This strategy promote intentional use of technology rather than impulsive habit. Like you decide to check social media only between 7 to 7:30 p.m. daily. You set a timer and switch your phone to grayscale during that time. Once the timer ends, you put your phone away and focus on reading or relaxing. This routine builds discipline and free up mental space. Social media is a performance, not a documentary. So A reality check. Social media platform often showcase the best, most polished part of people's life, vacations, achievements, celebrations, and perfect selfies. But this is not a full uh, picture of reality. It's a performance carefully curated to impress or entertain. Real life includes struggle, boredom, messy, emotional, and quiet moments that rarely get posted. Believing that social media reflects the whole truth can lead to unrealistic expectation and self-doubt. So, for example, you see someone posting daily gym selfies and healthy meals. It might make you feel lazy or undisciplined. But what you don't share their off day, emotionally, breakdowns, skipped workout, their feed is a highlight reel, not a documentary. In the digital age, it's easy to tie self-worth to online validation like comment, followers, or how aesthetic your profile looks. But these metrics are superficial and temporary. True self-worth comes from your values, relationship, and how you treat yourself and other offline. So, the most meaningful experience often happen away from screen, laughing with friends, reading a book under a tree, cooking with family, or simply resting. These moments are raw and imperfect, but they nourish your soul more than any viral post. Like you spend a Sunday afternoon journaling and sipping chai on your balcony. It's peaceful, grounding, and joyful, even if it's not Instagram worthy. And awareness, if your greatest shield against the comparison trap. Comparison is a thief of joy, especially when it's based on filtered realistic. Being aware of how social media works help you protect your mental health. When you recognize that other are also curative their lives, you stop measuring yourself against illusion. You notice a friend constantly posting luxury travel photos instead of feeling behind. You remind yourself that everyone has different priorities and your journey is valid, even if it's quieter or slower. This is the last slide, and in it, we will see a summary of the truths. So, first is happiness is an internal state, not a digital metric. True happiness comes from within you, values, relationships, and sense of purpose, not from likes, followers, or online attentions. Digital metrics are temporary and often misleading. Relying on them for self worth can create anxiety and comparison. Second is perfection is a myth created for engagement. Online perfection, flawless skin, spotless homes, ideal routine, if often staged or edited to attract attention. It's not real life. Chasing perfection can lead to burnout and low self esteem. Embracing imperfection makes you more authentic and relatable. The third is connection matter more than validation. Meaningful relationship online or offline are built on trust, empathy and shared experience. Validation feel good, but it's fleeting. Deep connection nourishing your emotional well-being and help you grow. And last, your behind the scenes in human beautiful. The part of your life that are not polished your struggle. Quiet moment, daily routine are just as valuable as your highlight. They show your growth, resilience, and authenticity. You don't need to hide them. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and share it, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Until then, stay curious and stay kind.